The road to 100k, day 3. I'm back. My bankroll is now $550. Let's go.
Let's do this!
As soon as I join the table, there's an all-in. Wow. Trips versus a full house. This is the first time I started the road to 100k video, and I actually got a full table instead of playing heads up to start. So this is a nice change. Wow, look at that flop for Andrew. Top pair, straight draw, ace high flush draw. That's tough. Back-to-back hands, flush versus trips. Action table. Here it is. First hand on day 3. Pocket aces. Forgot I wasn't even playing Hold'em. We're calling the shadow ace king 9-6. Is Hobbs going to play like this every hand? It's a good possibility. We're going to lose our bankroll quick, or we're going to double up quick. So this could be a long video or a very short video. Hobbs and Andrew are going at it. Looks like Hobbs did have that jack. Every single hand so far that I've seen at this table has been a huge hand. Wow. Nothing. Pair kings. Nope, no straddle. Terrible hand. 9-5-3-2. I said a terrible hand. 3 pairs off the flop. And the 4 gives me a straight. I have a feeling a club is coming out on the river. 5 of clubs. Wow, full house. Here's the double up already. Possible triple up. Unless they have pocket 9s or pocket aces. Which I doubt. 2 pairs could have aces actually. Nope. Wow, 3-2. There's a double up. It's very interesting how Hobbs is playing every hand. And not only playing every hand, but playing every hand ultra aggressive. That strategy should be a losing strategy in the long run. No matter how good you are, you can't control the card. So playing every hand like it's all in, not really the best strategy. But it looks like it's paying off for Hobbs right now. King, queen, 6-5. King high flush draw, not the best. We have to check. King high flush draw. We're going to check one more time. I don't want to get re-raised on the turn when there's a possible full house. Now we're going to put out a little bet just to get some value out of this hand. So let's bet $3. I did not want to raise on the turn. Like I said, if I get re-raised, I have to fold. I'd rather wait for the river to come out. If one of them wants a bet, I'll straight call. If not, I'll do a value bet on the river. But to bet that turn, there's really no point. We have pocket 8s here, and we have straight possibilities. I'm not really looking for the flush with this hand, as it will be only 8 high. So let's hope for 6-7-3 or ace queen jack. That's exactly what I said.
Why the fuck you lying?
This is a very nice hand. Ace 10 6-5, ace 10 suited, 6-5 of clubs. We have to call this pre-flop. This is tough. I think I'm only losing to 2 pairs. Not this guy. But I'm going to call. Does he have a queen? I don't believe so. It looks like he has an ace the way he's playing this. But I'm pretty much pot committed, $5 in a $22 pot. We're calling this. Good call. After that $5 pot on the river, he pretty much gave up his hand. He doesn't have a queen. He's not betting $5 on the river with the queen there. I was just hoping that his... Thank you. I was just hoping that his ace, he didn't have a bigger kicker. But we are going to thank Hobbs for that compliment. I'm only playing this hand for the clubs, so I'm folding. I will stay patient, wait for my hand. These players at this table are ultra aggressive, so I don't need to force any hands. Wait for my hand, and then cash in once I hit. Does Hobbs have a 10 after putting a laughing emoji? Or does he have a 3 and that's a sarcastic laugh as the 10 came out on the turn, knowing he is probably beaten now? It will be interesting. 16-25. I want to leave a note on Hobbs. King Jack A2. Absolutely nothing. Full house. Man, Hobbs is hitting hands. He is hitting hands. It's rare to see 3 hands go by without Hobbs hitting a full house, a flush, a straight, something. That's crazy. Look at this, King 8-6. He's hitting hands, and he's getting hands. And I'm getting terrible hands. 7-6-6-3. What am I supposed to do with that? Never mind, full house. What am I going to do with 7-6-6-3? Only hit a full house.
Well, that sucks.
The best hand we got in a while. Let's call. 2 pairs raise. We are out of position, which I don't like. But Hobbs did call. We have a good hand. A lot of straight possibilities. We have to call. Wow. A lot of straight possibilities. I think I want to put the pressure on. I don't want pairs to raise, because I can re-raise and get pairs to fold. Yeah, that was me dropping my mic. And for the rest of the video, I was recording without audio because it was unplugged.
You idiot. You're honestly an idiot.
So, for the rest of the road to 100k, day 3, I will only be showing big hands and doing voiceovers over those hands. And you don't want to miss the rest of the video because there are some big hands coming up. But for now, let's get right into this hand because this was absolutely crazy. Alright, on the flop here, I decided to put the action on Hobbs and 2 pairs because I have such a huge draw. I wanted to make it seem like I already have a hand just in case I don't hit. Also, to build up the pot. As we see, Hobbs calls. I decide I'm going to check on the turn because if Hobbs called the flop, the 4 is irrelevant. He is going to call the turn. So my thinking, there's no point of betting this turn, potentially getting re-raised, and then I have to fold such a huge draw. So my plan of action was to check this turn, which I should be doing shortly. The 8 comes out. At this point, I'm thinking I have the best hand, especially when Hobbs checks. But we will see shortly the hand Hobbs has, and it is unbelievable. I couldn't believe the hand Hobbs had. I should be checking any moment. There's the check. And that's the hand Hobbs shows. Jack 9 7 6. Hobbs called with Jack 9 7 6, a bet of times 13 on the flop. He called with nothing but a pair of jacks. Realistically, the only way Hobbs can win that hand is by hitting runner straight. If I had two pair, he is already realistically almost drawing dead. Once again, to runner straight. So what are you doing calling that flop? It was an amazing check by me on the turn because now he hit an open-ended straight draw, so he was going to call no matter what. But it's ridiculous how he made that call on the flop. I was fuming at this point. I could not believe Hobbs made that call on that flop. Unreal.
That'd be lucky. That'd be good.
This hand happened a couple hands later. I pick up Ace, King, Jack, Jack. A beautiful hand. I just call the straddle. And shortly, we will see Hobbs doing what he does best and raise. At this point, I decided to re-raise for two reasons. One, I was out of position, so I wanted to be the aggressor in the hand. Two, I wanted to play heads up with this hand. I didn't feel comfortable simply just to call. Now, when that flop comes out, beautiful flop, the pot's already huge. I decided there's only one option here. The only option, shove all in. I have an overpair. I have the ace high flush draw. Unless Hobbs has a 7, I should be winning. And as we see, Hobbs calls with nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just an open-ender straight draw. He wants to run it three times. I decide to run it 3 times simply because nothing is guaranteed in poker. I wanted the best odds. I thought I was going to win 2 out of 3, but I won 3 out of 3 all-ins. There's my double up. I said it earlier in the video. The way Hobbs is playing ultra aggressive is a losing strategy. He will eventually lose at the end of the session. You can't play every hand that aggressive. And finally, there's my double up. What a beautiful hand, and what a terrible call by Hobbs. The very next hand, things go from bad to worse for Hobbs. I pick up a decent hand. Kings are nice, but I hate the 6-2 that are with my kings. So I just call. We will see shortly Hobbs doing what he does best, once again, raise. I decide just to call this hand. I don't want to re-raise. I was feeling a little bit lucky, which is the only reason I called this hand. And there it is. There's the king. Hobbs will check this flop. Now, here is my thinking on this flop. It is a beautiful flop. So if I do a small bet, Hobbs might be thinking I'm trying to steal the flop, which will entice him to call, which he does. But when the ace of diamond comes on the turn, that is a terrible card. I decide enough of the games. I'm going to win the pot right here, which I do. The ace of diamond brings out a flush draw, also straight possibilities. If a jack comes out like it did on the river, a queen, or a 10. I did not want Hobbs to chase because he loves chasing the straights. Therefore, I did a big bet on the river. On the turn. And I took that pot down. Back-to-back pots. I'm sorry, Hobbs. I don't know what else to say. Now, here's a hand I was not involved in, but I still want to talk about it because this is exactly how you should not play Omaha. Hobbs raised pre-flop, gets re-raised, he calls, it comes out Jack 10-9 with 2 diamonds, there's a flush possibility out there, and there's already a straight. A 2 comes out, Hobbs bets, 2 pairs, will we raise him on the turn? Hobbs calls, there's the 7 of diamonds, there's a flush out there now, Hobbs checks, we will see 2 pairs go all in, Hobbs instantly calls, and shows a straight, while 2-pair had him beat the whole way. Now I say this is exactly how you should not play, because it comes out Jack 10-9, 2 diamonds. All he has is a pair of jacks with the bottom straight draw. He has absolutely nothing. There was no reason to play that hand like that. You bet on the flop and you got called. Okay, you took a chance. When the turn came out and you got re-raised, it's time to give up that hand. And then when the 7 comes out, especially the diamond, you know you're beat, but yet he instant called. I understand he might be pot committed, but when you know you're beat, why are you just giving away 20 bucks like that? It was a terrible call, but we will see in a second that Hobbs makes it right back with the river. He doubles up. He's still in the game. Here is another huge hand I was not a part of. Big initially re-raised to $4. Andrew re-raised. Hobbs goes all in. It goes back to the big. He re-raises all in. Now it's Andrew's decision. Will he fold or will he call? We see another re-raise. There's a call. A 3-way all in. This pot is massive. And when you look at the hand, you're saying, what are you guys doing? Only big had a hand. Andrew with the king 10-4. I mean, if someone has pocket aces, you're drawing dead to really a king or a straight with a queen jack ace. Is that really what you're hoping for? But Andrew does hit a 2-outer. He hits the king. He triples up. That was a massive hand. But realistically, Andrew should not have been in the pot. It was a terrible call. But he won, so it is what it is. The very next hand, we pick up King Jack 5-4. Pairs raises. Big re-raises all in for under $3. Here I will simply call. And we will see pairs, of course, will call. On the flop, I hit 2 pairs. And I decided to be the aggressor for 2 reasons. One, nothing's going to come out on the turn or river. That will improve my hand, except for a king and 5. And I wanted to get pairs out of the hand so I could play heads up. We are now heads up. The 2 of clubs comes out, irrelevant. And the Jack of Hearts. There we go. There is another pot. A small pot, but a good pot. And here is the last big hand of the session. I have 9-7-6-5. Andrew raised and I called because my hand gives a lot of straight possibilities, which I just hit on the flop. I'm going to check here, hoping for a bet so I can re-raise. Unfortunately, everyone checks. The 3 of diamond comes out on the turn. I hate that brings out a flush draw. So I bet into the pot on the turn. We are going to see 2 pairs at this moment in a second. Any second now. Any second now. Going to raise. And here's my thought. If I just call this, I'm giving 2 pairs the opportunity to hit a flush, a small flush on the river. I don't want that to happen. So I bet pot, forcing 2 pairs to fold if he has a small flush draw. If he has a big flush draw, we're flipping on the river. But he folds. I did not want pairs to chase his flush and hit. So I'm happy with that raise. I'm happy with that fold. I'm happy with that pot. Unfortunately, shortly after that hand, players sat out. Players left that table. And I was left alone. So that marked the end of day 3. I sit at the table with $125, which is a profit of $75. And that brings my bankroll to a total of $625, a profit of $125 after 3 days. This was the road to 100K, day 3. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. The road to 100K, day 4 will be coming up shortly.